Hey everybody, Jason, Hannah, Cycle Stop USA in Plant City, Florida. This is part 2 of our fuel system video. I wanted to show you, I've got the fuel pump assembly out of that tank, and I want to show you what failed on this bike, and then I want to show you what fails on most of them. The number one culprit of that I've seen in our shop of fuel system failures on Delphi injected bikes is your check valve hose. The check valve hose, it kind of looks like an esophagus out of like a deer or a small animal, but where they split is along the seam. And if you can see, it's discolored, and that's from being in fuel for so long. What seems to be happening, and I don't have any real scientific evidence to disprove or prove this, is that ethanol causes it to get brittle. This is the new check valve that we're going to put in. On this particular bike, what was broken, if you come and zoom in here, Hannah, the fuel pressure regulator, if you can see there, that O-ring is stuffed out. This is the fuel pressure regulator housing. And this fuel pressure regulator housing is made out of plastic. So what I'm going to do is remove this. I have it out of the tank, and in order to get it out of the tank, I had to take off the check valve. So the check valve hose is held on with what is called an Oetiker clamp. You can get these at the Harley dealer. Require a special tool called an Oetiker clamp tool or a side jaw clamp tool that also cuts them as well as crimps them when you put it back together. So if you can zoom in here, Hannah, I'm going to remove this piece and pull out there's a spring clip here. I'm going to pull that spring clip up, kind of let it fall out of the way. Then I'm going to pull this piece off here. Now the part that's bad is our fuel pressure regulator housing. You can see that O-ring is sticking out of the corner, and the pressure from the fuel breaks the tab. So I'm going to pull this out of here. That's our fuel pressure regulator. Now we bought from Drag Specialties, we bought a new fuel pressure regulator housing. Pull this out of the package here. If anybody needs part numbers for this stuff, or you actually need these parts, you can call here at the shop, 813-754-2959. I'm gonna take the new fuel pressure regulator hose, or excuse me, housing. I'm going to check, make sure the O-ring's not damaged on the fuel pressure regulator, and it's still a little wet, so I'm gonna take advantage of that and kind of just push it together with my hand. See, it's nice and seated in there. Now I'm going to insert it back in this metal piece here, set it down into the back of the tank plate, take my mount piece that puts pressure on it, reset my spring clip in both of the sides there. Over. Now this is going to put pressure on it to keep that fuel pressure regulator housing in its place. That's real simple. Now the next thing I'm going to replace is the inside hose. The inside hose is made out of the same material as the check valve hose is. As you can see, the new one's clear and it's not pre-bent. It's pretty pliable. Take my side jaw clamp cutters. I'm going to cut my side jaw clamp. Use the other side of the tool to pull it off. I'm also going to do the same thing here. I probably could have done this while it was off, but I wanted to show you exactly how everything goes together, and that way you don't get lost on what you're doing. I've got a razor knife. I'm just going to cut the old hose away. That piece there. This is your fuel pump. So be careful when you cut it that you don't cut into the fuel pump outlet. Several small cuts are better than one deep cut on this. I'm going to pull this out. Make sure I put my 2 new clamps on. These clamps are a special size. Like I said, they're sold at the Harley dealership. So, slide the clamp on there first. a little bit of a bear to get on, but this is a high pressure hose, so you want to make sure that it goes on all the way. Just slide that clamp back up on there. Again, I'm going to take my side jaw clamp pliers, clamp it on there so it's held tight. Now the other side is going to go to my fuel pump. There's a little arrow on the hose that shows you how far you need to get it down on there. Get that lined up. Put our new clamp on. I'm going to tighten the clamp. Now this is ready to go back into the motorcycle. When this goes in and out, there's a little ratchet piece that opens this so you can slide this down into the tank. This will go in down on the driver's side. Once you get it in there, you're going to pop it. You're going to need a 7/8 wrench to remove this. Some fuel will come out if you still even if you have a little bit of fuel in there. This is 7/8. I like to put a little bit of white liquid Teflon on this when I screw it back up in there, because this has to be screwed into the bottom of the fuel tank before you insert it onto the fuel pressure regulator outlet side. I also replace the top gasket every time too, because the ethanol in the fuel makes this gasket swell. If you have any questions, call us at 813-754-2959. Please subscribe to all of our video series down low. I don't do any edits on these things. I try to do them in one shot so you can see I run into the same problems you're going to run into. So ride safe. Thanks again.